Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Daily Racing Form YouTube. I'm Gino Buccola alongside Mike Beer, producers Bobby and Vinny helping us out as we get you ready for the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks on Saturday. Mike, I don't know if you've looked at the full card or seen at Del Mar, 115 horses entered in the 11 races on Saturday. I mean, it is one of the better cards of the year that you're going to find. They are big fields, 4 graded stakes races, and all the graded stakes races look just like this. Competitive fields where you can make a case for a lot of different horses in here.
They didn't make it easy for you pretty much on any race on that card, and that's exactly what you want if you're going to be betting these races.
4 horses exit the San Clemente, the second, third, fourth, and ninth place finisher. So that was Inbox, Rating Party, Peanut Butter Bomb, and Wild Like the West. That's one of the local prep races for that. But I do think some of the new faces in here are the ones that are really intriguing, right? You've got Tam Tam, who ships in coming off of a big win in the Tepin, where she earned a 93 buyer, and she's multiple graded stakes placed. You have Green Carrera, who is a horse who ships in last race over at Ireland, was very impressive at Ascot 2 starts back in a field of 30. Mike won that race. I had to look at that a few times. It wasn't a full field, though. A couple horses scratched out of that one. It should have been a field of 32. So you also have Kensington Lane, who's a grade 1 winner. I think the new faces are really intriguing in here.
Yeah, I think you nailed the lead there, Gina. That's what I was going to say too, because I do think the San Clemente horses, I think they all ran pretty well in that race, and they certainly deserve to take the next step here and shoot for the Grade 1. I think maybe, unfortunately for them, there are some horses shipping in here that look pretty good.
Let's meet the field for the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. It's going to go as race number 9 on Saturday at Del Mar, and they've really stacked the card for the graded stakes at the end. The last 3 races, all graded stakes races to close things out. We start with Victorious Dream, and we'll take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. It's always important to take a look at and see how this race could shape up. Victorious Dream is in really nice form right now. She wasn't running bad races. She was 3rd in the Providencia in early 2026 in April, been behind one of the horses that she'll face in here, and she'd been knocking on the door. And then last 2 back-to-back victories, pretty impressive. She's improved buyers in each of her 5 starts. Like, I don't have a whole lot to knock on her as a horse and her development overall. This is just not an easy spot for her. That's really the negative that I have.
I agree with all that. Yeah, it just took her a while to break through, but she's run well right along, and her last 2 races are both really good. I think the other thing that you would maybe want to note with her, especially at the price that she figures to be, which is it's supposed to be a good one, I would think, is that this 9 furlong distance is not an issue for her. It might be an issue for some of the other ones. It's not for her.
Great point. We move to Looking at Diamond. Next up, she was 3rd in the Honeymoon Stakes last out in a race where Inbox was 2nd. Wild Like the West was 5th in that race. She was towards the back early. I thought she ran okay. She is going to get a new rider, and I thought she may have had a little bit of a tough trip. She looked like she wasn't really being asked all that much late. It was kind of a little strange. So I'm not surprised to see a rider change.
Yeah, I agree. It just felt like maybe she's just still running in spots. She's a really lightly raced horse. I don't know about you, Gino. I looked at all 3 of her races. She can run, man. I think this filly has a lot of talent. I don't know if this is a little bit too much too soon for her. And then you add in the fact that this actually did come up a really strong Grade 1. So those things sort of made me feel like this is probably too tough for her right now. I have a feeling she's pretty good, though. I think she's talented. If she ever puts everything all together and runs a complete race, I think she might be able to go with horses like this eventually. I couldn't talk myself into her as a top pick here, but I'm using this horse for sure.
I completely agree with that. She is better than she looks on paper.
Yes.
And just like her speed figures might look, when you watch her races, you can see just what you said. She's got talent. She's got ability. You wonder maybe if she's even like a blinker horse at some point someday, because she does run in the spots, and maybe that could give her focus. But we'll see if she shows up here at what I think is going to be a very fair price. Tam Tam figures to be one of the top contenders in here. She's a multiple stakes winner, multiple graded stakes placed. She hasn't run a bad race in any of the 5 turf starts, maybe even in any of her races, period. The dirt form isn't that bad either. And she put it all together with a big victory last time out. All 3 of her wins, though, have been at a mile or less. So when you're talking about horses who we're not sure about at the mile and an eighth, she may be one where if she's not getting that soft, easy trip and she has to work early, might be a little much for her when you get to the late stages of this race.
That's my concern with her, too. Her turf form is really good. I suspect this time, the last time they went 9 furlongs in the regret two back, they didn't send her to the lead that day. I wonder if they were worried about the distance that day too. They just sort of
Yeah.
rated her, let
And she
somebody
went
else cut it.
wide. It was kind of a little weird
Like,
early.
they didn't want to send her that day. I suspect they'll send her this time and just
I
put
think
her
so
on the
too.
lead and see what happens. I think that does make her dangerous, but I'm concerned about the distance for sure.
Because she wants to be up close
Yeah.
early. Look at the pace projector. On paper, she's the
Yeah.
quickest. If they want to go with her, she can probably snag that lead early on. That 93 buyer she had last out, that's co-tops with Kensington Lane. So, I mean, she just stacks up really, really well in here. I like Green Carrera in this spot too. This is a really fun new face shipping in a horse who on June the 19th was in a field of 30 at Ascot. And no joke, she might have been last or
Yeah.
towards the very back at some point
Yeah.
and went from almost last to first pretty quickly up the inside in like just a few strides. All of a sudden, she's from the back to right up in contention. And while it's hard to project sometimes with fillies like this who come in and you're trying to look at time form ratings and see where they stack up. You're looking at some of the horses they faced. Just watching her run, she looks like she's got talent, and I think she's going to run well in this race.
I'm with you on all that stuff. I mean, her form is really good. Even the race after the big Sandringham win, where you're right, she just put in this huge finish up the inner rail there and beat all those horses. Even last time, she ran great. She got out of the gate very poorly in that race, and it really cost her. But she ran really well in there. I think she's good, and I'm not as worried about the distance. I don't think that's really going to be a stumbling block for her. We'll see. I think the one thing that would just worry me about her, Gino, is her running style, because it doesn't have a lot of speed.
Completely agree.
I do feel like she's going to have again, it's a pretty big field there, a bunch of horses to pass, but make no mistake, this filly can run.
A little bit of traffic, something like that could hurt her. But yeah, she's got some serious talent. And the horse that she just finished second to was winning her 5th straight race. So she lost to a really sharp horse in a race where she didn't get the best of trips. There's some serious talent here. Define is the next one up. She comes in for Brendan Walsh. He's going to step up into a stakes race for the first time. She is lightly raced. She won sitting really close, and I think that's the trip that they want for her. They want her to be close to the lead in here, maybe not on it, maybe sitting just behind. And what is nice for Brendan Walsh is her running style is very complementary to his other filly, who I like quite a bit too, and I know you do, Rating Party, who wants to come from way out of it. So Divine, total opposite end of the spectrum. They're going to have her close up. At the very least, it could maybe help her stablemate, but also help her chances.
Yeah, that's a very good point as far as the stablemate goes. So we'll see if that's how they ride her. And yeah, listen, I liked her stateside debut. Fine. I thought she ran good. She had a pretty soft trip overall, I thought, but I liked it. She won that race very easily. Probably a good sign that they're going to ship her out here and run her in a grade run right off of that. I think that probably speaks pretty well of what these connections think of her. We'll see if she stacks up.
And her dam one going 1.5 miles, so she should be able to go a little bit farther and get this distance. We move to Inbox, grade 2 placed. She's one of 4 that comes out of the San Clemente, and I believe we have a replay of that one. We can show you how some of them fared in that race, and I thought she ran really well. She was second. She looked like a winner for like early in the stretch when she gets the split, and then Somerset West, this horse flies up the inside at a massive, massive price. When that happens, you wonder sometimes if those horses don't see, or the riders sometimes even don't see the horse from way up there, because all of a sudden when she did, she sort of re-engaged again late and made it really close. And she was about a length clear of the other 3 that were behind her that she'll also face in this race. So I think you kind of nailed it when we were talking about it. I wouldn't have an issue using some of these horses coming out of the San Clemente, especially the 2, 3, and 4th place finisher, who I thought all ran well. The only concern is just they got to face some other tough new faces who are shipping in here.
Yeah, they deserve the chance to run here for sure. But yeah, this just feels like a way tougher race than that one is. I don't want to spend too much time on Inbox. She's run fine. I think in her last 2 races, especially, she's run fine. I don't have big excuses for her. I wanted a different horse out of the Honeymoon 2 starts back, the horse that we just talked about, the long shot that's drawn down inside. And I want a different horse out of the San Clemente too.
Peanut Butter Balm was also in that San Clemente. She finished 4th, squeezed back a bit at the start, was in between horses. She did tip out. She was inside of Rating Party. I thought Rating Party just finished better and just outfinished her right on the square. She could be a little closer early. She's stakes placed. It's another instance where this is a solid field. Like, I don't have many knocks on her overall as a horse. I just prefer a couple of the other horses coming out of that same race.
Yeah, agreed. I just didn't see I didn't see a huge excuse for her in the San Clemente, and I just would rather have other horses out of there. She ran fine in that race. To me, she just wasn't good enough.
Wild Like the West finished ninth in that San Clemente, and just hasn't really sort of stepped up her form in the last couple races as the fields have gotten tougher in these longer races and like bigger fields overall. I'm not sure if from this wide trip she's going to be able to turn the tables. Could you make a case for her?
Yeah, I just wonder if she's going to be able to improve as much as she's going to need to in this field. I just don't like her last couple of races in particular.
Couple major players to finish the field out here with the 9 Kensington Lane, excuse me, grade 1 winner, multiple graded stakes winner. This is a horse who came over from Ireland, finished 5th in the Irish 1000 Guineas, and didn't run poorly in there behind some nice horses, Precise and True Love and Abashiri. And then on July the 4th, just I thought ran really, really well in the Belmont Oaks that day. That 93 buyer she earned is the co-top buyer speed figure. She actually went right to the lead, and then she sort of let one or two other horses try to go forward for just a brief second, and then she went right back to the front end and was always traveling really well. I think we have a replay of the stretch run right here where she's just looking good, and she's just really traveling well still at the end of this race and not looking like a 23-1 shot there.
Not at all. Yeah, she just dominated these horses. You're right too, because she went to the lead initially. There was like a really rank horse early that sort of forced everybody to run up to the front of that pack into the first turn, but she just held her position, retook the lead, and she just dominated these horses. You know, I mean, she was still in hand under the wire of this race. I don't know, man. She arrived in really good form from Ireland, and she ran last time. That was a really good performance. Maybe she won't be able to back it up, but if she does, she's going to be really hard to beat in here.
And you just think like this is not an easy field. It's competitive, but she was probably facing as tough, if not tougher horses in the Belmont Oaks last time out. So this is a really good spot for her to try to go back-to-back grade 1 wins, win the Belmont Oaks on the East Coast, ship over to the West Coast, take the Del Mar Oaks. We round things out with Rating Party. She's due for a little bit of luck, Mike. She's had some wide, kind of unlucky trips. June 4th, that Churchill race, she had no business winning that race. She was so wide there. And then last time out, she's 8th early. She gets off the inside and she has to make a 3 wide early move. She gets floated out to about the 6 path at the top of the lane, widest of all. I mean, she might have been in the 8 path in early stretch. And the winner of the race went up the rail. So like you're comparing how the race finished. She's way out there in the parking lot. The winner saves all the ground. This is a nice horse. And if she can just find a spot or two to like cover up for a little while, I'm so convinced she'll always come running late.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's unfortunate too that now with all the trouble that you've just laid out, you're 100% right. The wide trip, 2 starts back, but she wins anyway. Even the second start of her career, she was probably going to win that race. She got nailed by the winner in the stretch of that race as they were dueling. The stewards looked at it and made no change, but this horse took a really hard bump in that race, or else she might have won. I don't know. And now she has post 10 against this field. So that's not ideal, but she is good, man. And, we were talking about the San Clemente. Obviously, anybody can go back and watch the replay, draw your own conclusions. She's the horse I want out of that race. She had the toughest trip in there. The horses that finished ahead of her, they both got clean inside runs with no traffic. This horse got forced very wide to the stretch of that race and still I thought ran really well. I just think she's underrated. She's probably going to be a decent price in this race. And I'm not so sure she can't go with these horses.
Completely agree with all of those assessments there. She's going to be in all of my like multi-exotics as we move to selections and round things out in the grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. And we were just talking about the one that you're going to put on top there, Rating Party. And I definitely have her in my top 4. So let us know how you laid it out with your top 4 here.
Yeah, I'm just going to try her to win in this race because I think she will be a bettable price. I really do, Gino, think the 2 European horses, the one that already ran your Kensington Lane, I think she's the horse to beat. I thought she ran great last time. I think she's the horse to beat. Your top pick, I think, is super dangerous in here. I'm just worried about what trip she can pull in here, but she's a dangerous horse to me too. And then I threw in a long shot Lookin at Diamond Horse we talked about, who's, got to figure some things out, but I think she's really talented at a big price. So I threw her in there, but I'll use her underneath.
Funny the way I put my selections together. Those were my top 4, and the 2 Lookin at Diamond was my 5th horse right behind him, the one that I almost tried to sneak in there. So we see this race Similarly, we stacked them up just a little different. And if you feel that way, if you feel it's kind of competitive, make sure you get value on the horse that you like. Just demand that value there. I think you're going to probably get it with Rating Party. Feels like Kensington Lane should be one of the favorites in here. I totally agree with that being the horse to beat in here. And maybe we can get a little bit more of a price with the directions that we're going to go. Mike with Rating Party, 10-9-2-4. I'll take Green Carrera, 4-9-10-3. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a comment in the comments section below, like the video, and then let us know, how are you playing the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks on Saturday? Best of luck.